What is outrageous about it is that you see members of Congress on both sides saying they have zero tolerance for unethical conduct, but then behind closed doors they are quietly trying to kill the one body in Congress that's trying to seriously go after unethical members.
Melanie Sloan is director of CREW, or Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. She's talking about the Office of Congressional Ethics, or the OCE, the only government body that is outside of the Congress whose sole mandate is to formally investigate members inside Congress. But many of those same members of Congress simply want the OCE gone.
The OCE has forced members of Congress to take ethics more seriously. It has forced the Ethics Committee to act, and it has let all members of Congress know that they're not going to just be able to skate by like they have for so many years with unethical conduct just going on.
CREW is considered by some to be left-leaning and liberal, but they're not the only ones worried about the OCE.
One of your counterparts told us members of Congress publicly will go out and say they support the OCE, they support cracking down on ethics, while privately they're trying to kill it. Do you think that's true?
Yes. No, that is true.
Ken Bohm is chairman of the conservative, right-leaning National Legal and Policy Center.
If OCE goes away, if the members are not named, if it's not reauthorized, what message does that send to the public?
It sends a message to the public that not only is the system broken, the ethics system broken, but it doesn't even exist anymore.
The OCE was formed just 4 years ago after scandals and corruption had grown so bad the House had to clean up its act. Speaker Nancy Pelosi helped create the OCE as a solution. In just 4 years, the OCE has done more than 100 investigations of lawmakers, raising serious questions about possible congressional misdeeds. In 37 of those investigations, the OCE referred them on to the actual House Ethics Committee for further review, meaning that in those 37 cases, the OCE found reason to believe that House ethics and sometimes federal laws were likely violated.
So why exactly does Congress want to kill it? Well, actually, that's hard to say. Folks like these who have in the past voted to cut the OCE budget or to limit its powers refuse to talk to us. For those who would talk, opinions were mixed.
I think it's important there be some way for the public or for someone outside of Congress to raise issues about the conduct of members of Congress. Some of the things that is an OCE is sent to the Ethics Committee was actually pretty flimsy.
I supported it the first time, I'll support it again.
I don't think it's working well.
Is there anything OCE has done specifically that might have rubbed the Congress the wrong way to the point where they wouldn't want to get it going again?
Well, in fact, nearly everything the OCE does has rubbed the entire Congress the wrong way, and in large part that's because Congress doesn't want to hold anybody accountable for ethics violations.
Former Congressman Lee Hamilton is a respected member from Indiana who served more than 30 years and helped chair the famous 9/11 Commission. He says getting the new OCE board members appointed is crucial to having ethics enforced in Congress.
Whether or not you appoint the new members to the OCE is a critical point.
Congressman Hamilton is now the director of the Center on Congress at Indiana University.
And it is going to tell us whether the leaders of the Congress are serious or whether they're not serious about the enforcement of the standards of conduct within the institution. This is a critical test.
So, Joe, who exactly needs to do something to keep the OCE going?
Well, let's see. The Republican House Speaker, John Boehner, the Democratic Minority Leader, Nancy Pelosi, have to nominate new board members and then approve one another's selections. Both have said they are going to do it, but so far there's been little movement on either side, Randy.
And when does the reauthorization and the appointment of the new board members actually need to get done?
The terms of the outgoing board members expire on December 31st. For the OCE to keep going, people need to be in place by the end of the year, which means Congress needs to get going in the current lame duck session.
So in terms of how this works, though, the OCE refers its investigations to the House Ethics Committee, right? And some critics say that the OCE is an unnecessary duplicate body, really. I mean, are they right?
That's exactly right. The OCE is an outside, nonpartisan group. It investigates ethics allegations, then it reports those findings to the Ethics Committee. usually recommending either to look into the matter further or just drop the case. The reasons Nancy Pelosi pushed for it and the House voted to start it in 2008 was a feeling that Congress essentially was not doing an effective job investigating itself. So in that sense, the OCE serves an important function, but the OCE doesn't have subpoena power, for example. And the Congressional Ethics Committee doesn't need to act on its recommendations, which means investigations can often go nowhere. So when the House Ethics Committee doesn't follow up on OCE investigations, some members of Congress argue they've been unfairly targeted, their names dragged through the mud, turning the OCE into a villain.
Yeah, and what about the criticism that some members criticize the OCE for unfairly targeting African Americans? Are they right?
That's something that has been talked about again and again. And a lot of people have said the reason why so many African Americans' names get in the mix because they're in such safe districts. So that it's not about race, it's more about the fact that they're in safe districts. Still, that's the kind of story that deserves a complete treatment, and we'd just like to revisit all of that and air all the questions in another report.